Hi, my name is Dana Taylor, and I'm here to talk to you about some interesting things. One of them would be about asteroid defense. Another one is about drivers, finding ways to get to other parts of the universe, or well, solar system anyways. And a little bit about myself. First thing we're going to talk about is asteroid defense. And during this little session about asteroid defense, I'm going to be talking about a little bit about rockets also. So the first thing I'm going to do is talk about rockets. I got these little toy rockets in my pocket for a reason. Okay. If this is a rocket flying through space, right, it's going to go this direction, which is all south. And this rocket might be generating 25 tons worth of thrust. Okay, and this is another rocket. And if this rocket was flying through space, it's going to go this way, which is also come out this way. This is going to be generating 25,000 pounds of thrust. But what happens if you put these two rockets together, like this, facing each other, right? Now, if they both fire the engine and they're both burning 25,000 pounds of thrust, or tons, where would these rockets go if they're sending out equal thrust each direction? Nowhere. Let me show you an example on that. Wow, now we got two boosters, one firing in each direction. Where's it going? Nowhere. It's just sitting in one spot. 25,000 tons of thrust shooting out both directions. I wonder what we could do with this. I'm the real greatest thinker. Okay. Now, you see an example. Now, imagine if you put 4 other little rocket engines somewhere in here, or just 2 other rockets. We'll just put 2 other rockets, right? Okay, and then you fire them off. Which way would it go? All equal thrust would go forward, but these 2 extra rockets that stuck on there be equal thrust. So you got thrust going out that way, fire exhaust going out that way, exhaust going out that way with these 2 control winches slowly pushing it along. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Let's show you an example. Now we added some engines to it. 4 extra engines to push it along. Isn't that amazing? Now I can push these 2 boosters that are together in a forward thrust with 4 extra engines as they're firing at the same time. Can we use this for anything? Okay, now we're back, right? Now imagine, right? This does absolutely no good. This is actually wasting a lot of rocket fuel, isn't it? What could you do with it? Well, you know, there are some things you can do with it. Straighten up my little model here. Okay, I'm back. You might be able to push an asteroid out of the way. Actually, you can push an asteroid out of the way. Because asteroids, they seem to tumble, move around, things like that, right? You never know exactly what they're going to do. So, if you got 2 boosters, we're going to use boosters now, firing 25 tons of thrust each direction, and some rocket engines to push it along, it could park up against this asteroid, not touching it, but keeping a distance, and fire thrust, fire both the main boosters, and then have the little control rocket push it along as it's pushing the asteroid into a different position. Can you imagine how many nuclear weapons that it would take to move this asteroid versus some boosters, some liquid oxygen engines that can control the thrust to move this. You can move this thing completely in a different orbit in just a couple of minutes. Look at that. Let's show you an example. I guess we can. We can use it to push an asteroid with it. The 25,000 pounds in front could blast the asteroid and push it in their direction in a matter of minutes. I wonder how many nuclear bombs it would take to do this. Alright, I'm back. Alright. That's a good way to move asteroids. Now, the next thing I want to talk to you about is drivers. Drivers are an interesting thing. They do not work like, excuse me for a minute. Come back. They do not work like regular rockets that we know today. They do not exhaust out anything to get the forward thrust. The fan them back. Okay, but what they do is they take electricity and they generate something, I don't know, how would you describe it? I'm going to use something fictional, something like dark matter. And as everybody knows, dark matter does not react with anything on Earth, right? So it's making like this artificial, like dark matter by electronic means that is done through electric. So therefore you can have isotope generator, right? Pushing a spaceship through space without using chemical reaction. And if you could do that, you could take a ship, have a man standing in it, and accelerate continuously halfway to its destination at 1G. Wouldn't that solve a lot of problems? Let me show you what I mean. I'll give you a little demonstration. Imagine a spaceship going through space, continuously accelerating at one time the speed of gravity. I'm not for sure, but I think it would solve a lot of problems. Couldn't you imagine going to a destination point and eating, sleeping, doing everything just like you do here on the Earth, and then have to stop to turn around and decelerate the other half? You'd probably want to sit there for at least more than a couple hours to float around and play before you got back to normal gravity. Alright, I'm back. So you're standing upright in 1G environment. How much faster a minute do you have to go to sustain 1G? I still don't know this question myself. I'm thinking it's 300 something miles more per hour that you have to go per minute. It might be a great amount faster or a little bit slower, but I can't remember. I do remember figuring out the math for it once before, and it's a long time ago, and I lost on paper. But imagine accelerating halfway to Mars and then decelerating at 1G, the other half, to reach a planet like Mars. I would love to have some people out there that really know the math. I'm not super at math, to give me an estimate arrival as how long it would take you to get to Mars on its farthest orbit, accelerating halfway there at 1G and then decelerating the other half. And then how long it would take to get to Mars on the shortest distance, closest distance to Earth, accelerating halfway there, halfway back. And also one more cool thing is, how long would it take you to get to the moon and back? You know, like accelerating halfway there, you accelerating halfway to the moon at 1G, and then coming back. This would solve a lot of problems. No bone breakdowns, no nothing like that. And it may give us a lot more mysteries. I mean, could you imagine if this would be capable of having a ship that could actually go faster than the speed of light, what would you see? I mean, first you're looking at the Earth behind you, and if you could get past the speed of light, which I'm not for certain because there's a lot of problems that could be involved with this, right? Eventually, the Earth will be in front of you once you pass the speed of light. And as you accelerate, the Earth would start, you see the picture of the Earth move backwards. That's because you're running into the light molecules that was released from the Earth, reflected out. Navigation might be very tricky, but I imagine it isn't impossible. With today's computers, we could probably figure out just about anything. The problem is having the technology to make something go that fast. And that's what I'm working on now. I have done it in the past. I have working models of drivers. And there is some issues. I kept it quiet because I realized drivers are considered an outside force. It's like having a tub full of water, right? What I mean by outside force. Okay, you put the water in a tub, right? You put little plastic boats in it. And then when you run your hand through that water, right? Your hand could be considered outside force in making the water move. Well, this is the same way these drivers could do to the air. Can make all kinds of weird streams. That's why, if they are used, once I develop them, I would like them to be used in a very safe manner. Like flights, you know, going up to space in less than a 50-mile-an-hour radius. That way you don't disturb too much of the atmosphere. Because this technology will do a lot. It will eventually make it where you can lift off from New York, be in Russia in under 2 hours. Because you can make cargo jets or cargo ships, whatever you wish to call them, that would basically just take off in similar certain pattern, go out into outer space, skip across the Earth real fast, get halfway to the destination point, slow down, and then re-enter the Earth. It won't take very long to get from one side of the planet to the other side of the planet. You know, flights will be shortened. It will be a new age of flight. It will definitely change transportation. So, I'm going to leave you at that reminder that I do know I need help from all the people out there. I need sponsors. I need people that will donate. I have to find out how to even make this legal so I can start a little company specifically just to build this driver, to change the American way, to change the world way. And if I get this done, if you the people help me, then we will change the world and maybe even make this a two-world planet. Couldn't you imagine colonizing a planet like Mars? Couldn't you imagine making it affordable for every American sometime in a lifetime to go out to outer space? The motels, other things that could be built out there because you can get the material up cheaper. I'm looking forward to this, and I do need your help. Alright, now a little about me. I'm just a poor boy, average American, been seriously injured before, and recently do not hold a job. Who knows? So when I give you my email address, if I don't respond to you soon, I might be having some, what's that word they use? Complications about getting back to you. And hopefully you can help me to help the people in the economy. I'm going to leave it at this for now because I'm not for sure what to say. I'm very new at this, trust me. Alright, thank you.
That was awesome, man. All of you. That was awesome conversation.